I have a question for you. Do you find yourself bargaining and compromising, trying to negotiate with your child, whether that's a teen, is a preteen, but just trying to get along with them in a way that sometimes you feel guilty after it's said and done because you done flex yourself, you done compromise and allow yourself to be too flexible. And I'm gonna tell you, based on my experience as a parent and as a professional, that there is sometimes the flexibility part that really doesn't work. Now, my name is Taharka Sankara. I'm a licensed clinical social worker. I'm a licensed clinical alcohol and drug counselor. I'm a trauma-focused cognitive behavior therapist. And throughout my practice, I often find that parents, one of the traps that they fall into is being too flexible. So I'm gonna give you a few examples of what too much flexibility can do and how it can actually work against you in your parent-child relationship. Now, we all know that parents want to allow their children the opportunity to express themselves, to be vocal. They want to be heard because oftentimes children feel shut out and parents are always the ones speaking, and the child really gets a word in edgewise. And so we want to give our children the opportunity to express their opinion, express their thoughts, right? If they have something that they want to say. But there is something that becomes too flexible and too compromising to the parent-child relationship when you allow your child to say things to you and speak to you in a type of way that's not healthy for that parent-child relationship. Like talking back, being smart, being too quick-witted, a lot of chit-chat, talk back stuff, and you know that doesn't work. And then there's also the fact of being able to allow them their privacy. This is a trap because now society tells us they're growing children, they're getting older, they need to have their privacy, whether that's on a cell phone, whether that's in their room. And it often comes down to also having relationships with the opposite sex and being able to be in the privacy of their room so they can have some alone time. And you know that just doesn't work where you allow your teenage son to have a teenage girl over in his room and then they want to close the door to have some privacy, some quiet time, some alone time. Or have your teenage daughter do the same thing. That's not working because you know what they're going to do. And you can fool yourself to believe and think that, oh no, I trust them. They're not going to do that type of thing in my house. But guess what? If you give them the privacy, if you give them that alone time, that closed door, locked door, they're going to do what you think they're not going to do because that's what children do. And the flexibility of your parenting will say that it's okay. And before you know it, your child think they're grown, they think they're adult, they've been parentified, they've been adultified because now they're doing things as an adult will do without the same responsibilities and accountability of an adult. And then I also run into some situations where parents they may the tobacco, the alcohol or the drugs, in particular the marijuana, because now you know this recreational use marijuana is socially acceptable. And some parents just say, you know, everybody else is doing it, and I don't really think it's right. But at least I'm going to allow them to do it because now I know or I'm going to allow them to do it in my house because at least they're in a safe place and I know where they are. At least they're not hanging in the street. So we give all types of excuses and rationale of why it's okay for them to do the very thing that you have established firm rules on early in the game, but now you're compromising, you're flexing with those rules and those standards and those disciplines because you want to be a good parent. So I'm here to tell you that flexibility, it doesn't always work. And there's sometimes that as a parent, you can be too flexible. Now, I'm going to share some of this information with you in a group. So I have a Facebook group. It's called Next Gen Parenting. And I invite you to come over to the Next Gen Parenting group so that we could go over and learn some different things. Now, I'm going to tell you straight up, this is not the type of parenting situation, parenting group where I'm going to tell you how to parent your child. I'm going to tell you what you should be doing as a child, because I'm under the pretense that of the old African proverb, and you may have heard it. It says it takes a village to raise a child. And so what this next gen parenting group is about is creating that village for our children, because we also know that all wisdom, all knowledge does not exist in one head. And so the next gen parenting group is just an opportunity for parents, for adults, for caregivers, for grandparents, whoever is monitoring and supervising children in their life during this next generation, to deal with some of the challenges that they face with in an environment where we all can help each other learn and grow as better parents. So if you're interested, join that next gen parenting group, and I assure you that you're going to gain some insights, you're going to gain some tips, some tools, some strategy that can help you on your way as a better parent. So next gen parenting group, and I'll see you in the room.